Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, fellow Earthlings all over planet Earth. As you can see, I am literally chilling out in what I consider relatively freezing cold water at this time of year. 27 degrees, it's claiming it is. It feels a lot colder than that. Right, I have not made any notes for this video. So this could all go back to front and upside down, and I'm bound to forget something. Firstly, Meghan's mole. I have spoken to her and checked it's okay to say her name. And I explained to her that I really want to do a big thing in a couple of weeks, but she wanted me to do this, so I'm doing this. I apologise, Meghan's mole. I was a complete cunt because I thought Duchess Dropbear was a little old lady with cancer who didn't have many subscribers, and you, on the other hand, you're a very popular YouTuber, and you'd named her 7 times. And the way I saw it at the time, which is what I explained to you last night, was that you were the more powerful of the two. Now, you're obviously a lady who's very intuitive, and you picked up on something a lot earlier than me. I mean, I've got like sixth sense and stuff, but I do, by all means, do not always pick up on things. And I am very, very sorry, and I hope that's okay, and I will check in 2 weeks, because we're pulling teeth left, right and centre, quite frankly, behind the scenes. Also, I would like to say, I know I'm going to forget all this, as a result of my situation with Meghan's mole, I would urge other YouTubers also to, if you hear that another YouTuber's, for example, given out your home address or caused some shit, please double check with that YouTuber, because we have this psychotic shit stirrer in our midst. Now, me and Mole have spoken, and I've spoken to other YouTubers, and that, you know, we're in contact in the background. I have never been in contact with, according to Taz. I've no idea where she lives, what her phone number is, and also I'm not sure that she and Trevor have ever been in touch. I always rather got the impression they weren't friends, not enemies, but they, you know, that I don't know. There's all kinds of ludicrous claims out on the internet now. Now, let me remember, another thing, all of you commenters are so intuitive, intelligent. The emails I've received, I haven't quite got through all of them, or the comments, but the things you come out with, and a lot of people have come forth now on reflection of what I put out yesterday with all the evidence, and a lot of the pieces of the jigsaw puzzle are starting to fit together. I think that Wally and I, by arranging that Yankee Wally's Sisters YouTube channel, we inadvertently struck an artery in the enemy camp. And it's been bleeding and hemorrhaging ever since, hence all this recent drama. That's where a lot of this stems from. Right, what else was I going to say? I've done Mole. I've done YouTubers. I should have made notes. It's been so hot. At least we've got some cloud cover, and I'm in some cold water now. And I had it all in my head. It's all gone now. I was going to tell you a story about time travel, which is really, this happened to me, Graham, Sam and Ben, years ago when we were in Brighton, and it's the weirdest story, actually. you guys are going to start thinking I'm a nutter or something. I mean, I don't know why these sort of things happen. Anyway, I was talking to a friend yesterday, so I'll do the time travel maybe later today. But I was talking to a friend yesterday, and we were talking about how to take stress on the internet. And it is stressful. I know a lot of you find it stressful, and sometimes it is stressful, but it's not what I call real stress. So I was telling my friend this story that I am about to tell you, that happened to me in about 2004. Well, as you all know, I was on the run, and then I came back. The officer that was chasing me, he got arrested. We were actually living in Portugal at the time, near Praia de Luz, and the GNR had pulled me over, and I didn't have my physical driving licence on me. And they said, well, you can't drive, I've got to see the licence. So I'd contacted the DVLA, and they'd said, no, we can't just send out another driving licence. I can't remember what the reason was. I needed to get a pillar of the community or something, because I had more than one name. And so I rang Steve Skerritt. That was the first time I phoned him up while I was on the run. I hadn't spoken to him in a few years. And blow me, first thing he said was, I've been nicked, Fiona. I've been thrown out the force and I've been nicked. And I thought he was making it up, and he said, don't come back to the UK. Stay in Portugal, stay in Spain, have a great time. And I thought, oh, it's a double bluff. Anyway, I phoned my lawyer, and he said, no, he really has. He's been nicked and thrown out to police. That's another long story. So I said to Graham, well, I'll fly back. So we returned to the UK, and when we moved all our stuff, we had to drive trailers and vans and jet skis and speedboats, you know us. When we moved back, I said to Graham, I was quite heavily pregnant with Ben, I said, I'm going to ring the chief constable and just double check what's going on. So I did. I phoned Sussex Police headquarters in Lewes, and I spoke to the chief constable's personal assistant, I think, a lady, and I gave her my name and date of birth, Fiona Mont, first floor 70 and all that, and she said, there's no warrant for your arrest, you're not wanted and you never were. And I had to make her repeat that a few times. And then she said, would you like to make a complaint? She was kind of encouraging me to. And I said, well, what about? Why? And she said, well, I don't know. And I said, well, about what? And she said, I don't know. And I said, well, I just want to get on and live my life. Are you absolutely certain? Because I've been all over the newspapers and the TV. She said, no, Fiona, you've never been wanted. Anyway, I said, thank you very much. Put the phone down. That was the end of that. Well, the thing is, Sussex Police didn't tell the media. I suppose they were embarrassed about Steve Skerritt. He was in the force for 24 years. And I suppose when they get an officer, then they've got to look into every single blooming case that they've ever done, see if there's been any naughtiness there. Anyway, so fast forward a couple of years, a year, that would have been 2003. That was the year we finally moved all our stuff back to Brighton. And about a year later, we were constantly having TV companies and production companies, and they all wanted to do... We actually had a fella who came and he said, I'm working for this new online streaming service called Netflix. And he came down from London to visit him. And I said, no one's ever going to watch TV on the internet. I think that's a waste of time. I'm sure he was from Netflix. Anyway, I'm digressing. So I was working in a pub. We had a boat in the boatyard. I was working in the pub round the corner. And after a few weeks working there, I was on sort of a day off. I had a Saturday off. And I was doing the late shift. So I had to go in for like 4 or 5 o'clock in the afternoon. And I had a really knot in my stomach all day. And I said to Graham, there's something funny going on. I feel really tense, really, really tense. And he said, oh, ignore it, it's nothing. So we took the kids to the beach or the park or something. And I got ready for work. And when I got to the pub, as I was approaching it, someone I had not seen since I was about 17, an ex-boyfriend of mine who a really, really nasty piece of work, last person in the world I wanted to see, he was there to greet me, and I said, what are you doing here? And he said, oh, I've come to say hello to you. I said, how did you know I'd be here? He said, everybody knows. Anyway, I said, oh, well, thank you very much for coming, goodbye. And I went in the pub. Well, have any of you ever seen the film American Werewolf in London, and the scene when in The Slaughtered Lamb, where they walk in the pub and everyone in the pub, they're all talking and then they go quiet, so well, the pub was jammed, and it was like that. As soon as I walked in, everybody just fell silent, glasses frozen, and I thought, what the fuck? They all knew that the newspapers, they all knew who I was, but so I thought, well, what's the earth-shattering news? What's going on? I mean, it was literally felt like a lynch mob. Physical, in your face, lynch mob. So anyway, I went behind the bar, took my coat off and took my place. By the time I got behind the bar, they were still like that. It was really quite creepy and eerie. And then this one patron who was, he was always getting into punch-ups on Friday and Saturday evenings at that pub. He was the leader of the pack. He came walking over to the bar like something out of a John Wayne movie. He was called Graham as well. And I thought, here we go. And all the people are watching him, still in stunned silence, holding their drinks. And he looked me dead in the eye. He was hard as fucking nails, this guy. I mean, there's no way I could have taken him on in a physical fight. But I thought, well, I'll give it a go. And he said, you see, you got some fucking bollocks. And I thought, whoa. And he put his hand out to shake my hand, being behind the bar. I grabbed one of the beer pumps with my my left hand. I thought, if he's going to pull me over the bar. And there's about 60 people in this pub, and they're all going to kick fuck out of me in a minute. Now that is stress, okay? Not this crap. Don't you start filming me while I'm talking, please, Graham. Don't. Please don't, man. Don't. Get your GoPro out and film my bloody bum or something. Where was I? Oh yeah, so there's Graham, hand held out, scowl on his face, and I thought, knives, glasses, oh well, here we go. I mean, I've been in jail, I've been through some stress, and I shook his hand, he shook my hand, and he said, "You're all right, you are," and the whole pub became animated again, and I said, "Oh, thank you very much." And I thought, fucking hell, I feel like throwing up. I had no idea, and I thought, what's this all about? So then this lady walked up to the bar, and she said, "Have you got anything to say, Fiona?" And I said, "Well, about what? Can I get you a drink?" And she said, "No, I'm a reporter from the Evening Argus, from our local paper." And she said, "I just wanted to know if you've got anything to say." And I said, "Well, I don't know what you're talking about. About what?" And she said, she held up a copy of the Evening Argus, and I was on the front page of the Argus, and the headline was, I can't remember the exact words, something like, "Will she turn up for her shift?" And the claim had been, someone had phoned the Argus and said, if she turns up at that pub for work tonight, she's going to be nicked in front of everybody. Sussex police say, friends say. They always used to use friends say in those days. And I was horrified, and I said, I didn't even know I was on the front page. I said, "Would you like a drink?" And I served her an orange juice, and she went and sat at the table, beaming at me like a Cheshire cat, you know, like she was proud of me, like she was, you know, with admiration. I said to my boss, "Do you mind taking over for a minute while I go out the back?" Burst into tears and puke all over the kitchen. And he went, "Yeah, of course you can. You got some fucking balls, girl." Because it was a tough pub. That was a tough gig. So that's stress, and I've had a few moments like that in my life. There's these fucking keyboard warriors, anonymous keyboard warriors that go out. Oh yeah, that was the other thing about Mole. I've just remembered. She said to me she had some online bullying and hate, and I am very sorry. I never intended that when I did that video. Never. The intention of that video was to get everybody to get along and get everybody to communicate. It was never to hurt her or anybody else. And actually, I wouldn't even wish any hate on this weird little psychopath that calls itself Penny Warwick. I want only peace for her. She wants to put shit out on the internet. She wants to fight. She's never going to learn, is she? Oh, thank you. Oh, McDonald's delivery. Thank you very much, Faith. Where's the chips?
Dad only gave me €3 and these are $1.50.
Oh, okay.
I didn't have any.
I'll let you off then.
I was going to get you chips.
All right, well, I'm videoing. We'll have this conversation after.
Fucking picky you are.
Shh. Mind your language. I don't know where she gets it from. Where was I? Yeah, that video. I didn't want... I mean, there are some people, like, for example, Meghan Markle. What kind of a reaction did she think she was going to get going on Oprah and saying all kind of shit about the royal family? The royal family are members of the Commonwealth family. That represents 2.4 billion citizens, doesn't it? On a planet of 7 billion people. In what way did Meghan think at the time that was a great idea? You know, spray shit out, and didn't she get some shit back from the universe? So the last thing I want is anybody to be bullied or have a bad time online. And I think that's everything. There's always something I forget. But yeah, so when they're on the internet and they're in anonymous keyboard warriors, it's good people are anonymous to keep their privacy. Oh, and everyone who's emailed me, don't worry, I'm not going to give out your private details or anything you've sent me. Don't worry about that at all. So yeah, I covered that. I think that's everything. I will see you in the comments below. Thank you very much for listening.